Jane Barrett.
Appearances can be so deceiving, can't they? That's Jane Barrett's hair.
Yeah.
You know what? That crime scene was staged. We need to talk to Brass.
Yep. Now, are we actually going to get to talk to Brass?
What do you got in the way of evidence? The DNA evidence puts Jane Barrett right at the crime scene. I'll get your warrant.
Yeah. First.
I don't understand. Why am I being brought in like this? I told you before I was at home in Los Angeles.
Nope.
Miss Barrett, we found your DNA location which ties you to Mary's murder.
That's not possible. I gave you my home security system records. I wasn't even in Las Vegas. I was home. This has to be some kind of mistake. Didn't you check with the security company?
That's exactly what we did, Miss Barrett.
You, and everyone we talked to, mentioned how you would always pay Mary a visit every Sunday. But when we reviewed your home security records, we noticed one Sunday when your system listed you as home all day.
I have an explanation. That is,
May we see your phone, Miss Barrett?
I'm gonna get a search warrant for your home in Los Angeles, Miss Barrett. I'm gonna have LAPD turn over the place and tell me exactly what they find.
May I save you the trouble, Captain? You won't find anything there. You have no case. Just because I wasn't home doesn't mean I murdered my stepsister. That's actually quite a remarkable leap of imagination. And I would guess those don't usually play very well in front of a jury.
I just heard back from the LAPD. They searched Jane Barrett's Lost Hills residence from top to bottom. Found nothing. Look, maybe Jane didn't want to risk traveling around with incriminating evidence on her, so she stashed it around here somewhere. All I'm saying is, it's worth looking into.
I was just at the boat. Oh.
Well, no one will ever accuse you of not being thorough. I'd say you might be overdoing it a little bit, but it never hurts to practice, right?
What the Why put it in there if it's not relevant? Ha 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 ha. I fucking knew it.
The smudge wasn't on her phone earlier. It's not sticky, it's viscous, like oil.
Right, I think we've got all we need. Excuse me. Lab, let's do this. Nail the bitch. Actually, let's check her phone first. see if we can check her phone. Fuck. Can I check her phone on this? Ah!
Matching an unknown to an unknown.
Oh,
like
fuck
that doesn't
off!
Tell us much. It's petroleum oil with a very low ash content. Looks like the type of two-stroke oil you'd use in jet skis. Good job, partner. You proved that pool of motor oil is absolutely a pool of motor
Oh,
oil.
you are gonna have egg on your face in about 10 seconds. Egg on your face.
It's petroleum oil with a very low ash content. Looks like the type of two-stroke oil you'd use in jet skis. The chemical impurities in both oil samples match, which means we can put Jane at the lake very recently, but why would she go down there? Unless maybe she was trying to hide something from us. I think we're gonna need something to search below ground as well as above.
Right.
Ah, yes. The ultrasound device. It's
Fucking
an
knew it!
but it's also
Oh no, you're
expensive.
just being so thorough.
Let's
It's
just be sure we
just a
really
pull
need it
moral.
before
You
we
proved
start
it's just a
wasting
pull
valuable
moral. Oh no,
resources.
actually, it's an integral piece of evidence.
This evidence places Jane Barrett in proximity to that pool.
So actually,
of
you're a bit of a
motor oil.
dick, Nick, aren't you?
I'll get you that
Bit of a
ultrasound device.
fucking knob.
Let's see if we
I
can
was
find out
right
why she
all
did that.
along. It was me. Go fuck yourself. I didn't listen to any of that. Ooh. What am I looking for? Ooh! Ooh, a hammer.
So this is what Jane was trying to hide. A hammer. She buried the hammer right on top of a wrench, which looks as though it's been down there for a while.
You got a hammer. Which looks just right for smashing units. If we get a nice juicy fingerprint, that ought to do the job. Oh!
Looks like some kind of softer metal got embedded in the pitting on the hammerhead.
Ah! Ooh. It doesn't look like there's anything on there.
These particles are bronze, and they're a perfect match to the bronze that the bust is made out of. The bronze particles didn't come off by smashing the regulator. Someone deliberately shaved them off and planted them. So our killer wanted us to make the connection to the bust, and wanted to make sure we found those muddy footprints right by it. And he or she assumed that if we did, our focus would turn to John and Pauline.
Okay. But we've already got Missy's fingerprints, so on there, fingerprints. Oh no, not hers. No, I don't want that. This that on there, and then that. Oh. Oh, hang on a minute then. Boom!
Jane Barrett's fingerprint is on the hammer used to smash the regulator. I'd really like to hear what Jane Barrett has to say.
Right. So ready. Huh?
You didn't find anything, did you? I tried to save you the trouble. So is that it, officers? You'll never really know,
Fess!
will you?
Oh.
Here's your fingerprint. We found it on the hammer you buried by the lake.
The same hammer you used to knock off a piece of that bust. The one you planted with the broken regulator.
I'm just curious, Jane. Why the bust of Mary's father? Did you resent the Marst family that much?
I hated them. Hated them for stealing my family from me. You know, when my parents died in that oh-so-tragic skiing accident, it made me start believing that there was the possibility of justice in this world. Like God had answered my prayers and punished them for abandoning me. But then Mary took over the company. She was just a stupid little party girl, and there was nothing I could do about it. But as soon as Mary resigned, that very night, I was ready. God really does help those who help themselves. Mary survived her accident, which upset me. Why was God punishing me? But I planned to try again, and that's when I bought that application.
I knew she
for my
had something
phone
to
so
do
I'd
with
be
the,
able to create an alibi. But you know, I realized
the old
I
car
could just
accident.
Watch Mary die, bit by bit. It was then that I completely understood God's plan for me. I wasn't being punished. I was being rewarded. And then one day, I found John standing over Mary, crying. Crying and begging her not to die because she was the only family he had left. But I'm his real sister. That very day, I snuck into John's room to find something that would lead you to him and his naughty nurse. I took a chip of her fingernail from the trash in his room. Then yesterday, I used my phone to make it look like I was home. Then I drove to Vegas. It only takes about 4 hours. In the right car, that is. I went down to the family boat, put on my gloves, got John's muddy shoes, and drove to the chalet. I waited for my brother and his whore to go to his room, and then I snuck in. I put on the shoes and took the bronze bust from the front room. As soon as she saw me, Mary started panicking, pushing her regulator button over and over and over. Do you need some help with that, Mary? I cracked open Mary's regulator with the bust, then used the hammer to chip off a bit of it. That part was for you guys to find. Then, oh, and this was the best part. I put the broken regulator in Mary's hands and I forced her to push the button. I looked into her terrified eyes to watch the morphine melt her soul away. And then, she almost wrecked it. She looked at me and she smiled at me. She was trying to trick me, make me think she was glad to die. Like this was what she'd wanted all along, as if God was freeing her, not me. After she was dead, I planted that tiny bit of the fake fingernail on her hand. I replaced the bust, returned the shoes to the boat, and buried the hammer. Then I drove home. I got back just in time to catch my flight.
You might be right, Jane. Mary may have been happy to finally be released of her burden. Or maybe she was smiling because she'd been able to spell out most of your name on her regulator right before she passed. I think she was smiling because she knew you weren't going to get away with murder.
Well, we'll never know for sure now, will we?
I do know one thing for sure, Miss Barrett. You may have been neglected by your family, but we're going to be paying a lot of attention to you now. Probably for the next 25 years to life.
Yeah! Busted.
Very
Oh
good
God, not
work,
you.
two. A confession is always a nice bonus in a case like this one.
Technically, 2 confessions. One for last night's murder, and another for last year's attempted murder.
You keeping score, Nikki?
I just think my partner here deserves full credit for chalking up 2 scores. I think it should go a long way towards breaking up that cloud hanging over the team because of Huntby.
You let me worry about Huntby.
I'm telling you, Catherine, he's dirty.
Good night, Nikki.
I win. Ooh, Connie, 100%. Right, that's that. I did have to Google that one bit because I was sure it was a bug. I'm gonna go over the footage again, but I could have sworn that it said that, oh, you're fine now, you need to talk to Brass. When I found the knickers, and I found her DNA. But then it said that I needed to find his as well. To actually make it work. Which is stupid. But yeah, that's the first time. And hopefully the only time that I'll ever have to Google anything. But I was so confused. I thought it was a bug. I thought the game had glitched or something. Anyway. That's that. Another case. Done and dusted. Right. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time for the next case of CSI Fatal Conspiracy.